He's going to be busy.
Time on, please.
The assistants will do as much running as the players. Let's hope so. Listen to the noise at Kingsholm. Santi Carreras thumps it long. Oh, it bounces in front of Mata.
It is very windy here, and that ball certainly shifted in the air.
It is breezy, and it's getting breezier. And Santi Carreras, as we suspected, is the lone figure in Gloucester's backline. They'd normally have a couple of defenders sweeping. This is Josh Hathaway scooting back. But it's almost as if they're tempting Bristol to kick a little bit more than they might do today. A kicking Bristol perhaps easier to control than a running with the ball Bristol. We'll see. Randall, picked up by Gabriel O'Grey. Harry Thacker on the bench again today for the Bears. Harry Byrne at 10 once more for the Bears. And here goes James Williams. How good was he a week ago? How good was Bernard Janssen van Rensburg? But much to the Shed's glee, that's as far as it goes.
Great tackle and hit from Atkinson to knock him into touch. But this is Carreras on his own at the back. Means that Hathaway has to really get on his bike. Wade going to be doing a lot more running than usual, just to try and stop Bristol wanting to attack from their own 22. But then as soon as the ball goes over their head, they've got to win the race back there and support that man.
Not too much.
It is part of the defensive plan today, Sam, to set that trap. They know that it comes with a risk, but it is better than Bristol freewheeling their way towards them.
Yeah, certainly. And Bristol, you can tell that the wind is with them. You're watching the warm-up, the ball's holding up from right to left as you look at the screen. For a side who only kicks 12 times a game, it's an early first kick for Bristol. Kick long, use the wind first half and get some territory.
Thomas Williams and Gloucester, ball in hand, and that didn't quite work as Atkinson tried to thread things together, but it went forward off a Bristol hand, and Gloucester have the first scrum. Charlie Atkinson with Carreras at fullback today, and Gareth Anscombe with a hamstring problem, so Atkinson against Harry Byrne at fly half.
Excellent first move from Gloucester, just slightly off on the timing. Harris just got there slightly too early. I think he saw the opportunity and tried to beat the defender, but in doing so beat the pass as well. But they'd opened them up nicely.
Crouch.
Here we go then. Saying hello to Ellis Genge again. Apo for Sogbon. Wait to see if he's waving goodbye, just like he did wonderfully at Ashton Gate earlier in the season. Solid scrum. Taken off the base of it by Ackerman. Harris first run into enemy arms. Oh, and it's been won back by Janssen van Rensburg, and Randall leads the chase, but Hathaway should be the favourite. He's got a job to do here, however. Both Hathaway and Randall did really well. Firstly, to gather the ball, and then secondly, not to concede the penalty. I'm not sure it was against Randall, but it will be Gloucester's. It was against, actually, Janssen van Rensburg.
Yeah, he tried to double up his earlier effort. He had a brilliant first effort. It was really clever the way he released it, got back on his feet, kicked it ahead, and put pressure on again. But Christoph Ridley said he had his hands just beyond the ball, so he infringed. But it was a great initial turnover to put the pressure on Gloucester.
Good reaction from Gloucester here. If you just watch, I think it's Freddie Clark there who just blocks off Van Rensburg. He's running back to the ball, doesn't really change his line, but he just makes sure that Van Rensburg can't quite get there as quickly. Gloucester win the penalty.
Jack Singleton, Gloucester's starting hooker, finding their captain Ludlow. Clement, Atkinson, Williams, and then the other Atkinson, Charlie Atkinson, getting involved, and Santi Carreras, Wade pins back his ears, off goes Wade. Gloucester are going to have some fun tonight as well.
That is sensational. Again, the timing of the pass right at the line, so there's no reaction speed left for the defenders. Van Rensburg just gets turned originally, and then he's a little bit far to the left, and I thought two attacking support players either side, he's got to pass to one of them, but they were blocked off by runners, and he backs his skill level And this couldn't be more delicately placed, running at that pace to take the pace off the board and allow Wade the chance to get there. It's a stunning bit of skill from Carreras.
That Atkinson-Carreras duo. Atkinson, I know it's a warm-up, but he was looking so slick in the warm-up, getting the ball through his hands. Lovely right foot step when he saw Van Rensburg shoot out the line.
Yes.
Against the wind. And the wind doing its worst. However, 5-0, that'll do early on for Gloucester.
Thanks, Pete, that was helpful.
Wade, he's
So look, doesn't he? He's wanting to use Wade, but he just realises that the defence has got their Rapava-Ruskin's there. Doesn't want to risk throwing the pass, but to have that ability and that much control when you're running at that pace, brilliant.
Carreras reminding his club to be Bath last weekend how much quality he will bring to the rec next season.
Leave it now, leave it now.
There's still plenty to sprinkle around here between now and the end of the season. That was in front of Atkinson, and Ackerman had to pick it up. Carreras gets things going again, and now Harris running hard, and little chip over the top from Hathaway, and it's Gloucester in full flight at the moment, Sam.
A little bit too heavy, just makes you realise how good Carreras' kick was. It's only a small dead ball area. Wasn't the best pass from Thomas Williams, but two tight block plays from Gloucester to get to that edge. Bristol giving them that 50-metre channel. Chris Harris is so well. Accelerates great over 10 metres, but Hathaway puts the ball to boot. And as I said, it's a shallow dead ball line. Goes a little bit too far, which makes you realise Carreras' kick previously was on the money, but that was just a little bit too far for his teammates.
Rich Lane is quick, because I know there's a little bit too much on the kick, but when Hathaway puts it through, I think he's going to win the foot race here, and Rich Lane turned and still managed to keep the gap away.
Other than that,
I think he would have got there first.
He has been a fast running part of every Premiership game this season.
Crouch. Bind. Set. And no. Yes,
Williams providing the wall ball. Burnell, that's gone loose, and Hathaway kicks it. Carreras can gather. Harris calling for it. Back to Hathaway. Hathaway scores. Bristol being Bristoled. Gloucester unpacking the magic early on.
Carreras is just such a talented footballer. Watch his little glance. Lovely little pass off the floor from Randall here, but the next one just in two minds, I think. And then the kick through. Just watch Carreras look up and assess where the options are. There, that little glance. And then the eyes go back to the ball to ensure he gets them, keeps the eyes on them, but he already knows where Hathaway's going to be and just lifts it, knowing the defender's going to come in and tackle him.
Thanks, Shepard.
Well, one Wales international replacing another this evening. Max Llewellyn out for a few weeks after aggravating a hamstring. Ollie Thorley still absent, but in Josh Hathaway they have another firecracker as well. And again, the wind ripping it away, but two tries, Gloucester 10-0.
You'll see the little glance here, there, over his shoulder, knows exactly where he is. And it's often that, not the decision-making you make before something like that, but just narrowing down some of the decisions that you can make. Just giving yourself less to think about when you're actually committing the skill. What an impact he's had already.
Wind having an early impact as well. Those restarts are devil to work out. That one going over Gloucester heads as it got caught on it. All adding to the intrigue.
I know Gloucester like to play anyway, but particularly when you are against the wind, it is a slightly safer option sometimes to keep the ball in hand. Having to go with 2 or 3 phases. Thomas Williams going for an early box. Doesn't get the distance he wants. It's quite tricky conditions out there. That wind is getting stronger and stronger, it seems.
Still trying to play with pace.
There's Paddy Pearce up. A scruffy ball, but it's still Bristol ball just, but not for long. Up goes the flag of Craig Maxwell-Keys.
My bad. You need a touch first. Touch first, lads. Apologies.
There we go. A little battle between them for Sosborn, just making sure Ellis-Gens sees his face before he runs off.
And
don't the shed know about that duel as well? Fully supporting for Sosborn. They saw him chasing him down. They were cheering him on. They know all about those two now.
Ball.
Snatched down by Freddie Thomas. Luatua recycling himself out of the back and then going again, Luatua.
Oh, Fitzharding's got in on the ball there and nicked it. Brilliant.
And Randall and Byrne therefore can work together. Byrne comes back to find Luatua. Gloucester claiming that there were players off their feet. Gloucester claiming the ball back. However, Atkinson and Carreras conspiring again. Ravovo, he's hauled down by Harris. One of the great defensive midfielders, Chris Harris. Thumped up by Max Laheath, promoted from the bench to starter.
Thank you. Thanks. Sorry, Freddie.
Ahead of the injured George Kloska today. Atkinson. And now Wade, off he goes. Carreras, goodness me, there are so many mischief makers out on that pitch right now, on both sides. Thomas.
Carreras has stayed down though.
Yeah, let's go now. Bristol scrum.
An electric start, hasn't he? The Puma.
Time off.
Another little half break there. Pace of Christian Wade initially, but then that step back ghosts through and
I know.
just land awkwardly on the.
It's working though, so let's stay as we
the
are.
artificial surface here.
And you.
Here we go. This is what Bristol need to do a little bit better. Pat Lam has mentioned this. That line speed that Ellis-Gens just brought then, they've got to get in the face of that first receiver from Gloucester. They can't give him too much time on the ball. If you're getting 2 or 3 passes and you're not in their eye line, your defensive line speed's too slow. That's a good example set by Ellis-Gens, but it's how many times can Bristol repeat that, particularly off turnover. Gloucester come alive off turnover, like themselves. You've got to switch into defensive mode as quick as you can. Good example by Genge.
Carreras is okay. Back from becoming a dad for the 3rd time. The Genge clan bolstered last Saturday by the arrival of a new daughter. He told us he celebrated by tuning into our coverage of the Exeter game and scoffing a whole pack of hobnobs. Don't know whether they were chocolate hobnobs. That information was not released.
I could do a whole pack with a cup of tea as well, easy.
It's hard work when you become a new dad. And their mums claim that there's a bit of work for them as well, but honestly, you need a pack of hobnobs at the end of it. Byrne and Randall beyond the fullback lane to Bates. Randall. This is James Dunn.
No, too long. Thank you.
Harry Byrne. Williams. And a good old battle for the ball on the floor, and Rapava-Ruskin.
That was one of the politest penalty asks ever. He got in on the ball. Rapava-Ruskin forced him to stay in that squeeze position, and if you're in the squeeze position, you don't have to be shown to be lifting the ball. But the eyes just came up from Rapava-Ruskin. He said, "Christoph, come on." And he wins the penalty.
That's 2 in 13 minutes from in there. It's a good return for a loose head prop who can contribute that much around the field. He had a good impact off the bench last week. Down the wreck against Bath. Early dominance so far for Gloucester at the breakdown.
Don Waldock, who has been engineering Gloucester's defensive strategy this week.
Ball.
Alongside Trevor Woodman, who's been engineering the scrum, of which Rapava-Ruskin is a key component. This is the other set piece, the line out, taken in by Ludlow. Well, Hathaway was calling for it. Williams instead finds Atkinson, and Atkinson lays Byrne on his backside. Harris scores. Gloucester with 3. Switching the lights on early, Gloucester. Bristol being ripped apart at the moment.
I've got no idea what Gloucester have had for their pre-match meal, but they've come out firing. Ross Byrne would know he's not the strongest of defenders, but he's got to do better than that. Stay in the fight longer at least, and then someone go and assist him, and it's just a one-on-one tackle miss. As soon as they break through, there's only going to be one result. He actually stops Ogre going in and assisting him by getting on that side. Just all too easy for Gloucester, but they won't be complaining though.
Look at this short line from Hathaway. Hathaway comes in short, it holds Ogre just for that half a metre, and it gives the one-on-one that Atkinson wants against Byrne. It looked like Hathaway was just running a random dummy line, but he just sits that player at the tail of the line out, and that's what you want to manufacture, a one-on-one with one of your powerful ball carriers against number 10s, who are more often than not one of the weaker links in the defensive chain. Nice start to play from Gloucester.
Christian Wade, Josh Hathaway, Chris Harris. 3 tries in the space of 10 minutes, and now that restart's gone long on the wind.
I was a bit critical of Harry Byrne's attempted tackle there. But if you just watch, as they come in, the bounce here, his foot position, he never gets a strong planted base, as though, a sprinting position, one leg in front of the other. I don't know whether he caught his studs just before, but he was always slightly off balance. So as soon as there's a big collision, his feet are together, he's only going to be able to fall backwards. The meters before a tackle are sometimes just as important as the meters after them, setting your feet so you're in the strongest possible position.
This would have been Harry Byrne's final game for the Bears if he hadn't extended his loan from Leinster until the end of the season. Brother Ross will call Kingsholm home next season. He is coming in from Leinster. Ackerman finding space and testing the prowess of Harry Randall defensively. Charlie Atkinson, Harris to Hathaway. This is Freddie Clark. Rapava-Ruskin with his hands out. Behind him, however, to Charlie Atkinson. No way through for Singleton. Ball spits out, but Williams was alive to that. Flicks it off the floor to the skipper, Ludlow. Atkinson, Seb Atkinson. Here's Charlie. And back to Seb Atkinson, back to Wade, and again, this is a familiar routine. Oh, brilliantly taken. Thomas! That's extraordinary. Seb Atkinson scores. Rugby from another universe. Once again, the Premiership alight with brilliance.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters. It's unbelievable. The catch initially from Williams, the option's right to go across the front. The pass wasn't quite perfect, but the catch and then the no-look, little drop-off, that, wow. Oh, it's brilliant.
So Thomas Williams played schoolboy basketball for Wales, and you can see some of those skills coming out there. And by the way, it's 22-0, likely to be 24. This is into the wind as well. You think Bristol probably won the toss and chose to play with the wind perhaps first half, but 4 tries into the wind. My goodness, what a start.
Well, it's the 3rd fastest try bonus point of the season, 1.5 minutes slower than Bristol last weekend, but I mean, yeah, come up with your own words again. What we might ask questions about, because I'm sure that Pat Lam is and Jordan Crane is, we will ask questions about Bristol's defence, because amidst all the mayhem last Saturday night, they still shipped 6 tries themselves, and that was a big talking point this week. And they've already conceded 4 here.
Line's yours.
So let's see what all this is doing to the top of the Gallagher Premiership table at the moment. And Gloucester up to third with the bonus point. Leicester against Saracens tomorrow with us on TNT Sports. Williams wasn't far away from that. Here goes Fitz-Harding. Well, just as they probably were this time last Saturday tea time, Bristol fans rubbing their eyes in disbelief, but for a different reason today.
Leave it, Val.
What on earth is going on? Luatua. This is done. Byrne, Williams, Van Rensburg. Oh, that's really nicely done by Lane to keep it alive. Hathaway and co try to hold the ball up. In the end, momentum was against them. Williams.
Good choice.
It was a good choice, Christoph Ridley tells him. However, with the advantage, and Randall and Harding and Bristol making some noise for the first time. 5 tries in the first quarter at Kingsholm.
A crucial response. It's a little bit unfortunate for Gloucester. Hathaway thinks he's rolling out of the way, ends up giving away a penalty advantage, and all the Gloucester defenders who'd been so good just stood still. And you cannot stand still against someone with the pace and acceleration of Harry Randall. Has a little look, a couple of steps, sees the gap open up, goes through, and as you'd expect, the work rate of Fitz-Harding right on his shoulder. Bristol are back, and they need to use that springboard now to fire something pretty special.
Oh, he's been so good as captain again this season, setting the tone off the pitch, leading by example on it. And a little slap across Gloucester chops that will remind them that Bristol are still very much in this.
Gloucester taking as much time as possible to walk back. The wind against them.
Well, those restarts are an absolute lottery. I was watching him practice his restarts here a couple of days ago, and I promise you he could have landed them in a bucket from halfway. The accuracy was extraordinary, but it wasn't as windy a couple of days ago as it is today.
Is this 22 on? Yes. Is that done? Yeah. 50-22 on. Seconds.
Christoph Ridley just reminding everybody that the 50-22 will be on.
Crouch. Good off, bind.
Or won't come in from Gloucester's side of halfway, or at least Bristol will hope not.
Go off. Ball's gone.
Latter to Randall. Van Rensburg. Byrne looking for space over the head of Wade and Ravovo, and now Ravovo's chasing. Off we go. Bounce of the ball was not friendly.
He did everything, didn't he? Perfectly. Slightly different surface here at Kingsholm, so the bounce can be different, but everything's brilliant. Harris goes and tries to block off that, the delay of the pass, and Byrne over the top. Ravovo's pace, he's got past Harris. He just needs the ball to sit up like it did for Pollock last night.
If he tries to take a legitimate throw and it's blocked, fine.
Straight across, 90 degrees to the left.
This will be a testing defensive throw, what with the win for Jack Singleton. Kept it short, and it was won by Clark. Taken in by Jack Clement, who's become an increasingly important part of Gloucester's back row. Early try against Bath last Sunday after a bit of Carreras magic. We've seen plenty of that so far today. And Williams clearing kick.
Please don't stand blocking quick throws. It puts me under pressure. Please, thank you. It's fine.
Short to the front. Randall opening doors, very nearly cottoned on to Ravovo.
Still advantage, lead wide.
Ooh, and look at Clement busting holes around the fringes.
Advantage over for
Carreras. Bates wasn't far away. And then Atkinson to find Hathaway. Thomas Williams. Ackerman.
I'm okay with that.
Carreras. Beautifully done by Freddie Clark. And then Thomas linking up as well. And here goes Atkinson at full stretch. And here's the other Atkinson, Seb Atkinson. He's dragged down by Rich Lane. Gloucester looking for a fifth.
Well, Gloucester have been practicing the no-look pass this week. Already seen one for the try from Williams. Some great play. The offload to keep the ball alive, and that's what's been so impressive about Gloucester, how they keep the ball alive.
Time off, time off.
Goes through the gap, watch this. Little no-look pass from Carreras. Doesn't quite go to hand. Atkinson gets it. Oh, if you're doing no-look passes, I'll do one as well. It's just ridiculous. Good cover.
Two really good tackles from Rich Lane. He targets the ball on the first tackle really well, then he gets back on his feet and puts him into touch. Two excellent pieces of defensive work. You said how quick he was earlier, Benny, and he covered that field extremely well. Two big defensive impacts from Rich Lane.
So now Bristol with the challenge of the defensive line out on a breezy West Country day. O'Gray to Bates. Lit the fuse last Saturday evening against Exeter with his try after 90 seconds. He ended up with a hat-trick.
Tackle, let go.
Fairly short odds, skinny odds tonight that somebody might end up with a hat-trick.
I know you did your best, but you landed wrong side.
Cheat, that's 10 metres, no? It's because you cheated. You can't say that. You can't say that. That's 10 metres, no?
Explanation to Rowan Ackerman, not entirely bought by Ellis Genge.
Well, I think Ackerman had told Ellis Genge he cheated by trapping him in there, and Ellis Genge suggested that he shouldn't call the referee a cheat, even though he wasn't. There you go, see that little hand just come on top from Ellis Genge. Good little battle.
Battle in the skies as well. It was won by Freddie Thomas initially against Dunn, but Bristol's ball, and then the advantage kicked away by Randall. And Randall 50-22, that'll do. He was so sharp and alert last Saturday, absolutely driving all that was good about Bristol.
Been sharp tonight as well. A couple of little breaks in and around the breakdown, as you'd expect from him, one of the very best in the league.
Sure not chucked across.
Thomas calling in Clement. It's full 8-man line out. Taken by the new man, Pearce. Williams. Bristol's second visit into the 22, ball in hand. They scored a try the first time. Matter with the latest big throw forward. Genge. Ooh. Van Rensburg did well on the stretch, and then to evade tackles initially. Randall, a little look to the left, but went right in the end and employed Ellis Genge. Byrne. O'Gray. Williams gets it away. Here's Lane. Lane does brilliantly. Wade with the tackle. Lane lays it back, and the Bears are over. And Williams, who played a full part in that latest attacking move, ends it.
Impressive from Bristol how they've worked themselves back into this. Some really good attacking play in there. Saw the carry off the line out, and then this from Matter. Lahif goes tight, and the ball goes behind just to hold those guard defenders, make sure Matter wins that collision. They play to the left, and as they sweep back round, Lane does really well just to step on that pass that was behind him, accelerate, ties in Ackerman. Ackerman can't get back to his feet quickly enough. And it's relentless, the attacking power of Bristol. And from where they were just, what, 5-10 minutes ago, they've got themselves well back into this game.
Yeah, another conversion from Byrne, and 24-0, all of a sudden 24-14.
This try, there was a result of two good kicks from Bristol, one from deep when they managed to get to the halfway line, then a 50-22 from Randall, using that wind just a little bit smarter in the second half of this first half, getting the territory they want, and then they can pounce. But 2 good kicks from Randall.
Nice for Williams to get that try. He was the carry off the line out that gave them the momentum, stopped Gloucester's line speed, which was so impressive early on. And when you're playing against a team without the line speed, you can start dictating your attack a little bit more, and that's what has brought Bristol back into this game.
Atkinson wasn't happy with that restart. Just a little slap of his hands afterwards, maybe a little bit further than he wanted, even into the wind. Allows Randall and co plenty of time to clear their lines, and on the wind, Burns gives it a wallop.
Better just hold that mark, guys.
Carreras, Charlie Atkinson alongside.
That's a good return from Carreras. I thought it was an excellent kick from Byrne, but Carreras keeping the trajectory low, pumped it into the wind. That's an excellent clearance.
Paddy Pearce wondering if every Premiership match will be like this.
Just timing on your shoot.
Might be at the club he plays for.
Yeah.
Wait,
First start, only his second Premiership game, brought in off the bench late on today. Williams beautifully done to find Mata.
Don't know, not in line. Play on.
Williams clobbered by Ludlow, and he looks like he's felt it as well. That's gone forwards from Byrne.
2 knock-ons, first there, second there.
Actually, one of the extraordinary things about this game, given the way it's being played at the moment, is that we've not had too many handling errors. Let's have a chat with George Skivington. Where do we start, George? Throw some words at this to put some kind of shape on what we're watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's as we expected it to be, I think. You know, you've got to work very hard in D, and you switch off or you take a moment, which we did when Christoph awarded a penalty advantage. We switch off and Randall goes through and Bristol score a try, and they probably feel the same about us. So it's pretty helter-skelter at the moment. I think, you know, who stays engaged defensively, who can mop up enough line breaks is probably who's going to get on top.
What are you doing well in attack? I mean, it seems obvious, but what are you seeing?
Oh, yeah, I think the boys are being brave. They're going through the plays. You know, there's going to be a lot of tries today, and I don't want to say who scores the most tries wins, because that's not really the mantra. I think both teams are working hard in D, but you are going to have to score tries, and we know that, and so you're going to have to be brave, and you're going to have to finish things, you know.
Here comes another. Hathaway to Seb Atkinson, who does finish things. Well, it might not be about who scores the most tries, but if it isn't, it's going to be fun watching along the way.
That first phase move, just straight at the line. Hathaway does so well to stay hidden for so long, and then he just swerves out of the shadows, accelerates onto the ball, and darts through, straightens up, and then he's aware of that support back inside. The line that had been run by Seb Atkinson to hold defenders meant he was in the perfect place to be there in support, and he's got the pace to pull away and slide in untouched.
What about that, George? Not everything is perfect.
There's James Williams at 12, you've got to keep your eye on in the Bristol shirt. That short line from Atkinson is what sits him inside, and Hathaway can get that outside break. Atkinson does well to keep himself alive for the pass on the inside, but it's a really good line from Atkinson. He runs so hard. James Williams has to respect him, and it just gives Hathaway that yard he needs to use his pace to get on the outside.
Well, we've had 7 tries in the first half an hour, 5 for Gloucester, 2 for Bristol. 10 minutes to score another 3 and equal the record that was set last Saturday.
Inside. That's fine. I think you guys are doing the same.
Thomas Williams getting good distance, and backpedaling was Bates. Lane.
Lads, wait. Max back.
With the win, Carreras worked hard to get across, and then he dropped it.
I think there's a big difference from the side of the pitch that we're on to the side of the pitch that Santi Carreras has just dropped it on. Because of the height of the stand that we're in, it's a lot more sheltered. We're seeing Gloucester being able to make good distance when they're kicking from this side of the field. On the other side of the field, the back three are struggling a little bit more with the ball there, as we saw with Carrera. So he'll be gutted. He should have taken that. But still, it is a very different picture depending on which side of the field the game's being played on.
Yeah, interesting.
It's going pretty well, though, isn't it?
It's normally the shed that makes the difference on that side of the pitch, but something even more primeval tonight.
No issues, same again.
On this near side, we've got Max Laheath against Rapava-Ruskin. Rapava-Ruskin rotating with Kieran Knight today. Knight a benchman. Everyone hoping that Rapava-Ruskin's recent career that's been punctuated by injury has brighter days ahead of it. Byrne on his toes. And he picks out Williams, who again keeps it straight. Van Rensburg. Bernard Janse van Rensburg back on his feet and powering away to take the Bears to within 6-7 metres. Byrne takes them to within 5. Randall. Here's Luatua. In for the...
No, leave it.
Laheath adding his weight. Mata might go on his own. Did go on his own, but enough Gloucester bodies there, but maybe more white shirts than red ones at the moment. Away to the left. Bristol have the penalty.
Harry.
He should reverse that, the referee. Only because
no, that's not good enough.
He's trying to calm it down.
Your penalty. Who knows?
Ludlow knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
I've just given you a penalty.
Dead weight, just lying there.
You actually get
He wants to stop that quick tap.
Let's hear this.
Okay. You've already got the penalty. Hands to yourselves. You and you as well, please, Harry. Thank you. Time's off a second. Let's just get him treated.
No, I shouldn't react to that.
No, but just,
he knows exactly what
it's already your penalty, so just...
He knows what he's doing.
You good? Cool. When you're ready.
Tap and go. Bristol setting out their stall. Oh, great. Matters lurking, prowling. Goes behind him instead.
Advantage. Slow ball.
Penalty's coming as Genge tried to lay it back, but it was being slowed down illegally. Bristol wheelbarrowing their way to the line this time. Max Laheath.
Well, everyone talks about Bristol's free-flowing wide game. They've got a power game as well. The likes of Bill Matter, Ellis Genge, Laheath. Just question as to whether there was a full wrap there, but the penalty advantage was coming anyway for not rolling away.
I'm not going to single you out, but two
And then
incidents, you're involved in both, so is
good
Lewis.
use
I'll
of
talk to
Matter as a
him.
decoy as well.
You manage
Everyone
yourself.
fires in
Thank
thinking
you.
he's going to be the primary carrier. It's Ellis Genge, and then Luatua does so well to hold Laheath up there, one of the strongest men in that Bristol team, Laheath. But just the work of the latch from Luatua holding his man up just to make sure he can get those extra couple of steps in and over the line.
Harry Byrne's conversion. 8 tries now. Gloucester 29, Bristol 21.
I think we finished winding each
He
other
came
up
off
now. So
last Saturday night with his eyes bright with excitement. It had been that kind of game, and that time Max Laheath thundering over.
Luatua does well, doesn't he? The way he latches onto him, it's almost 2v1. He's so good at the basics. Pat Lamb says almost every week how good he is at the basics: ball placement, latch, clear outs on rucks, tackle technique. He got Laheath over there. Laheath's just got to stay on his feet. If Laheath can stay on his feet off that first collision, he knows he's got the support of that man behind him. You've got 35 stone, 40 stone thrown over that try line. Taken
on by Viliama Mata. Here is Luatua. Shovels it out to Williams. It deflects through the hands of Lane, but deflects backwards. Leahy between his legs. Oh, and then that's gone forwards.
That's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Knock on, offside. Knock on, offside. I think he missed him completely. I know the picture you saw, but I think he just missed him. Sorry, mate.
Fitz Harding just asking about another Ludlow tackle and whether it was no arms, but the referee was happy they didn't even make contact.
What of Jack? It's almost as if we expect a try every time anyone gets within about 5 miles of the try line. Such is what we're seeing at the moment.
Thank you, Peter.
Just watch Hiding there, Hathaway off Thomas Williams. Just trying to stay multiple options running down the same defender's channel.
Stretching highest was Freddie Thomas. Singleton, Williams, Atkinson.
Okay, gone now, White.
Clement. Thudding collisions. Ackerman. Done amongst those holding him up.
Advantage.
Lost the penalty, so they might as well have a go. Charlie Atkinson chasing, picked up by Bates, back we come.
If you're... Lads, Ru, if you're right, I apologise. It's just not what I saw.
Tyson again? Tyson?
Rather than them actually going down
really hard to see.
I understand. It's so hard to
Absolutely no thought that they might take the 3 points here. Just off they go again with the lineup. We only deal in tries. Don't take cash in these parts anymore.
Thank you.
Card only. Time up at the end of the first half. Another fast and furious first 40. Jack Singleton with Kingsholm emptying its lungs before half-time. That ball's got some pace on it. Goodness me, it skated infield. Bristol have done well to stay legal there, not now. And Gloucester can still go. Atkinson already on a hat-trick. The work of Ogre over the top, slowing things down. He did really well, but still the penalty. Taken quickly, and it's taken quickly by Thomas Williams. Ludlow screaming for help to the right. Thomas waits. He's got Fasogbon ready to latch in alongside.
Sorry, I didn't understand what was just said.
Clement. Seb Atkinson eyeing a hat-trick. Done stopping him. 42nd minute of a first half that has given everything. Ackerman. And again the latch from Fasogbon. This time they go a little bit wider. And then Carreras to Wade! What on earth do they put in these Saturday tea time cream buns? What about the Premiership Battenberg cake? This is extraordinary.
Jacko, sorry to put that pressure on you.
10 first half tries a week ago, 9 here.
Thomas Williams, keen to go. Nearly gets there himself. Really good reaction from him. They don't panic. And then as they all drift across the field on the passes, Carreras cuts back against the grain and just buys a bit of time for Wade and a little bit of space in that corner. And Wade does so well to lift the feet up, make sure the ball's planted before he makes contact with the ground.
Well, Christian Wade scored the first of the first 40s tries after 4 minutes, and he scored the last of them. In between, it feels like everybody's had a go. Blimey. Pat Lamb. Shall we address the elephant in the house and the defence of both sides, particularly Bristol in that first half?
Yeah, I'd love to be a fly on the wall to see what Jordan Crane told his team. I was just thinking of the last try that Gloucester scored. You know, Thomas Williams went for the quick tap, went for the try line. You just sort of just see the natural reaction of the Bristol players once that penalty's been awarded to Gloucester, and it's not really urgent to get back on your defensive line and make sure no one crosses it at all costs. There needs to be just a bit more of a desperation, and they won't need to want to defend as much as they want to attack. I'd love to see that a little bit more in the second half.
Bristol running, passing, kicking against a stiff wind in this second half, and it doesn't make it easy to gather those kickoffs, restarts, and Bernard Janssen van Rensburg the first to profit as we get going again. Genge away beautifully and quickly to James Dunn. Bears immediately on the front foot, and then that's nice from Harry Byrne, and Randall. Bates stopped in midfield. Here goes Fitzharding. Bernard Janssen van Rensburg, the furthest option, far right at the moment. Maybe looking for him now. Williams was asking just a bit too much of the Williams pass off the left hand, so kept it tight and go again. Byrne.
Leave it.
Dunn waits, goes beyond him. Laid back by Pearce. Janssen van Rensburg, Harding collides off Wade. And then walloped away by Freddie Clark, who then roars after his own kick and puts what pressure he can on Lane. Decent clearance. Ackerman, Carreras, Charlie Atkinson. Oh, that might work. Perhaps a little bit too far. Ravovo's there. Some Bristol digging needed. Oh, and then picked up by Ludlow. And Clement. And now Gloucester. And Wade on this near right-hand side screaming for it. Bristol offside. Defenders being sucked in. This feels like Wade territory here. Harris didn't feel confident enough to get that ball away quickly. Thomas Williams, and then Clement, and then Singleton, and Luatu are there brilliantly to slow things down. However, the penalty. What a start to this second half.
Well, I was going to think, how are Gloucester going to use this wind? There's 2 kicks already in the first 90 seconds. First was Freddie Clark, then Atkinson put it into the 22. So you just want to pin Bristol back. It's been ferocious at the breakdown. Both teams seem to have had that G up from their coaches to focus on breakdown. And it looks like we might be going for a quick tap, see what they set up.
Rapava-Ruskin. Williams goes well beyond him, however, to Sam Atkinson. Hat-trick time. All the big boys lined up. It went across the faces of all of them, and Atkinson has 3.
Really smart play. We've seen a lot of teams have a decoy runner off the tap and go, and then go to the second pot of forwards, but they flash across both sets of forwards. You see how tight Bristol are, thinking they're going to have to use the heavy artillery to stop it. Ravovo won't be happy with that hit. It's not up to his usual standard. But one-on-one, that's all you're trying to create. One-on-one opportunities for some of your best strike runners, and Atkinson takes his opportunity.
Couple of big impacts from that man, and he got back on his feet from the kick chase, got the counter to win the ball back. 3rd try. Good afternoon.
One of Williams' conversion. Slams it on the wing between the posts. And Gloucester very quickly into the 40s. It's not just the tries he's scored, but if you look at his numbers, particularly in that first half, his ball carrying, the most carries, carried it at almost 100 metres. He's busy all over the place.
We just mentioned defence, Nick, but that's a prime example. That's effectively a first phase defence. You've got a lot of time to set up for that. I say quick tap, it wasn't really a quick tap, it was well orchestrated, but they took their time, Gloucester. And Bristol is basically a first phase try conceded. It needs to be better.
That's been thumped backwards. Atkinson, long pass to Wade, and look at Carreras charging up on his right-hand side. Carreras, the low skidder, and a question mark for Bates to deal with. And he's laid it back, but Gloucester funneling over the top.
Good work.
Randall has it, Mata has
Great
it.
contest.
It was a good contest, and Bristol just about held on.
I've got a feeling, Nick, the half-time team talk from George Skivington might have been something along the lines of kick and counter-ruck. Done really well at kicking into Bristol's 22, firing into that ruck, causing a lot of pressure.
A lot of tired bodies in white shirts who've had to chase back for a lot of those kicks, survive counter-rucks. Might be some opportunities against the front five forwards.
Ludlow tries to get the ball away in heavy traffic. Josh Hathaway's down injured, so Gloucester operating with 14 at the moment. He's doing what he can to get back on his feet, but in a little bit of pain. He's limping back into position now. Atkinson, Harris, here is Hathaway. Away quickly to Wade. Wade's chip, chase, ball's there, Wade scores. It is extraordinary rugby. Once again, the public service announcement. This is not a highlights programme. This is live.
We were raving about Carreras' kick for Wade's try in the first half. Look at the control on this kick. How he threads it down the touchline. Perfect weight on it. That is an unbelievable individual score. The defence is there. And he skins round them. Controls his kick. What a finish.
And a seventh Premiership hat-trick for Christian Wade. He's alone on his own at the top. Just overtaken our mate Chris Ashton. As we feared, Josh Hathaway was in trouble, so fly in the Gloucester ointment, but goodness me, the way they've started this second half. Tries for Atkinson and Christian Wade.
3 seconds.
Both of them bringing up their hat-tricks.
Right on time.
And the conversion. These are heady days to have cherry and white blood pulsing through your body, Sam.
Just a casual conversion from the touchline for Thomas Williams. This is two great passes, by the way. Chris Harris and Hathaway. Looks quite innocuous there, the contact. Nothing sinister from a Bristol perspective, but two really good passes. The 3v2 just executed perfectly. So we just watched George Barton on for Hathaway.
Gloucester have brought on George Barton for Josh Hathaway. We'll see what that does to the way they sort their back line out in a moment. Bristol, meantime, AJ McGinty's on for Harry Byrne. First game for 3 months for the fly half.
Nice quiet game to ease yourself back into.
Taken by Harding. Mata. McGinty tries to keep up with him and then adds his weight to the maul. Randall, Williams. This is James Dunn. Mata looks interested, but instead it's Laheath.
He's never on the ball. Never on the ball.
Goes in. Dunn. Brought down by Rapava-Ruskin. Janse van Rensburg. Oh, and then stolen away by Atkinson, but picked up by Lane.
For me, play on.
Randall, Dunn. Behind Luatua and also behind Williams, sadly, for Bristol's attacking effort.
That one over there is strict. This one's enough. Yes.
AJ McGinty, knee injury against Leicester a couple of days before Christmas, and here he is.
Time off.
Back for the first time, back to help the Bears towards the playoffs. And they're not going to be short of 10s next season, Bristol, even with Harry Byrne going back to Leinster. They've got Tom Jordan coming in from Glasgow, Scotland international. Played 10, 12, 15. Pat Lam saying this week that he's looking predominantly at him initially as a 15, but certainly he and AJ McGinty can happily share the 10 shirt next season. It's Josh Hathaway's problem. Some injury problems on the wing at the moment, Gloucester.
Crouch.
Without Max Llewellyn for the next few weeks. Ollie Thorle is absent.
Bind. Set. Ball's out.
Let's have a chat with Pat Lam, racking my brain as to where we start with him. Goodness me, he's going to have a lot on his mind. We'll be watching Lane at the moment. Taken on by Bates. McGinty. Randall.
That is a long way in the side. Jack over the ball. Number 4 straight in the side.
Further for Jack Clement. Penalty for Gloucester.
That's the problem they face, Bristol, isn't it? They'll feel they have to chase the game a bit. They'll have to open it up and play to their strengths, but then if you get caught, you don't have that support with you. Gloucester have been really good on their work rate, bouncing back up off the floor, getting bodies over the ball to compete.
But because the ball carrier's isolated and he's got desperate and taking a short.
There's changes. 16 Harry Thacker, 17 Jake Woolmore for Gabriel O'Gray and Ellis Genge. 126th game for the club now, Jake Woolmore. Swaps roles with Genge.
No contest.
Afo deciding not to wave Ellis on his way on this occasion, probably wise. The joke can wear thin.
Advantage.
Williams hurls it out to Harris, and then Atkinson to the other Atkinson to Wade, who's already scored 3. Took 2 Bristol defenders to bring him down. He attracted 4 of them. The other 2 stood off. Here's Thomas. Charlie Atkinson now. Carreras, so much movement, quality of the passing, and then the try scored by Barton, who's not been long on, but he leaps on the carousel.
Gloucester are white hot. They're playing at a sort of pace and intensity that they're starting to make the defenders hesitate, and as soon as you do that, you can be picked off. And they just hold the ball, the eyes are up. What are you doing, defence? Right there, you've made your move. I'll put Barton through. It's just a masterclass from the home team. And that brings up the 50.
Well, he came through the ranks as a fly half. He's now very much a fullback, and he's a try-scoring fullback as well. He got one at the Rec last Saturday. Seb Atkinson's completed his hat-trick. Christian Wade has completed his hat-trick. George Barton scored the latest, unconverted.
It's just very, very simple passing, isn't it? Everyone running their right lines, crisp.
Well, he wasn't waved off by Afo, but he was waved off by a couple of thousand others. Good old Ellis, he took that very nicely. And Afo enjoyed it as well. We're going to have a chat with Pat Lam once this ball goes dead. Here goes Lahey. McGinty, Mata. What do Bristol have? They've got it within them to rescue situations like this. We've seen it happen before.
He's been pulled back up from his body.
It's going to take another magic show again. beyond Laheed to McGinty, and then Lane on his toes, and Bernard Janssen van Rensburg. Let's have a quick chat with Pat. Pat, you've got a million things on your mind, so very briefly, what's uppermost in your thoughts right now?
There's time. There's still time. But you know, you've got to admire and fair play to Gloucester. They've done some great plays, and unfortunately we've bitten around on some of our defence and taken ourselves. But you've got to admire their attack and their lines. So for us, it's about when we get the ball. I think making sure that we're accurate with our lines and keep believing. Like we've been in these situations. Well, probably not 50 points, but we know we can score. So it's about forgetting what's gone and try and get a foothold in the game.
We've got Sam and Ben up with us, Pat. They've noticed the kick and then the counter-ruck that Gloucester are using in this second half. That takes some stopping, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're using it really well, putting it in behind, and obviously got some pace out wide there too and putting some pressure on it. So, you know, we've spoken about some of the things we need to do in the second half, and as I said, like the plan, we should, you know, ideally we scored straight after half time, but they came all the way down. That's the quality of them. But now it's all on us, what we can do. We're obviously got to deal now with this attack, and on the back of that, keep coming until the game, until the 80 minutes.
Pat, know how busy you are. Really appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Thank
No
you.
worries. Thanks, guys.
32 points down. It'd be the comeback of all comebacks. Having said that, there are goals along the way. Have to get that fourth try to get a bonus point, and then maybe go chasing for that second bonus point, though even that's a long way away.
Williams. Carreras was up in support. Let's talk about Gloucester's defence, Ben, and expand on that. One of the issues that Pat felt last week was that they were not great off the ball defensively, looking at where the threats were coming at Bristol. And has that been one of their issues again today, do you think?
Yeah, Gloucester were really good at the beginning, and like everything, confidence makes such a big factor on form, because as soon as you hesitate, as soon as one player hesitates and the other one doesn't, those gaps get slightly bigger. And when you have that doubt in your mind that is probably caused from what happened in the first 5 minutes, and there were 3 tries down, those gaps are getting bigger and bigger, because people just don't trust what's happening around them, and it's very, very difficult to get that trust back within the same game.
One of the things that he talked about, Sam, was not overcommitting at rucks, reading the threat, scanning, making sure you know where the numbers are, where the next thrust's going to come from.
Yeah, I mean, some of the decisions you have to make as a defender is, you know, when to compete and when not to compete, and, you know, probably alluding to times when you throw a tackler plus 2 players in to try and compete for the ball, then you've burned 3 players if you're not effective, because you've only got 12 guys on your feet. So making sure you get that balance right between having a full defensive line, but when you do choose to compete, it's effective and you do slow the ball down, and you don't always have to win the steal. Sometimes you win the ball, that is the primary goal, but sometimes just stealing players by being strong in the ruck to make them commit extra attackers, or by stealing time by just being there and slowing that ball down. It's not always about stealing the ball. If you can steal players and steal time at every single defensive ruck, then you'll do a good job.
Max Laheed back involved, fresh pair of tyres for him. This is Seb Blake, who's come on at hooker for Jack Singleton and Gloucester. Blake picking out his skipper, Lewis Ludlow. Williams thumped up by Seb Atkinson. How far is he off an England call, Seb Atkinson, crying out for inside centres? One maybe to expand on in a little while, but he has been brilliant again today, not just with the hat-trick, and Bristol looking for more. There's Atkinson again to Harris, who likewise has been exceptional. The 2 midfielders today for Gloucester, gluing things together. Charlie Atkinson, Ackerman. There's so much hunger, so much appetite for more from these cherry and whites. Atkinson, Wade with an appetite for a fourth. Williams, Carreras was stepping around. Here goes Rapava-Ruskin, different kind of threat. Ooh, and then that seemed to skip off the hands of Blake, so Bristol with this advantage. Ooh, and then away by Harding. to Luatua, just a little bit too hot. It's only the second time that Gloucester have been in Bristol's 22 carrying the ball that they've not scored a try.
Too much pressure, back we go. Scrum, knock on.
Well done, boys.
Well,
Let's go now.
you can't doubt the individual commitment. Look at this hit from Jansi van Rensburg here on Atkinson. God.
I'm giving you
Done well to get up from that.
If you're under pressure, I'll blow the
Took him a while.
Yeah, I just feel like okay, I'll come this side. I mean, it looked really good to me, but
England off to Argentina in the summer while the Lions are away in Australia. I just wonder whether the hat-trick man today, Seb Atkinson, who's been amongst the tries from start to finish, might be amongst the names on the list.
Yeah, we looked at Max Ajomo as well at half-time. Been very effective at Bristol in recent weeks. Couple of really good options there, putting their hand up.
England with some options. Jomo part of Bath's win against Harlequins a little earlier, stretching their lead at the top. Here goes Mata. Randall. Thacker. Bristol, a team built to take their opponents out of the comfort zone. They need to do it now like probably never before to get themselves into a winning position here. A little over a quarter of the match to go. Van Rensburg chasing the ball with Williams and Carreras. Off he goes. Might need a little bit of support. Finds it with Atkinson. Back to Carreras and he drops it. Seemed to go forwards, but not in the view of Christoph Ridley, who was in the perfect position. Ravovo. Kirill Gitopsov.
No, advantage.
Russian wrestler doing a bit of wrestling. Thacker off the floor. It would have been a run-in for Freddie Thomas, but
when you've got a big cushion, you can sort of cheat a little bit more. Watch Randall here, who's been really frustrated all game, gets tackled off the ball and just held there. Bristol want to play, and he's being held in backfield far longer than he should be. And then Clement gets back up again, comes and has a little play at a ball that's not... It's Bristol want to get that flow back, they want to get the attacking game, but they're trying to slow Harry Randall down and stop him. He was the live wire that started the resurgence in the first half. They're making his life a misery.
A couple of Bristol changes. Cam Jordan has come on for Freddie Clark, and we saw Rapava-Ruskin take his leave, and Kieran Knight's with us now. Williams to Janse van Rensburg. Randall. Thacker. Luatua awaits. Here's Walmore. Williams.
I can see.
The whistle went just before Wade caught it.
It's going to be that scrum. Yeah.
Player Fitzharding down with shoulder injury, perhaps. Anyway, Gloucester and Bristol and Leicester and Saracens all with playoff aspirations, title aspirations, and Tigers and Sarries at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road. Our Sunday afternoon feature tomorrow. Craig and the boys and the girls, and with us for the usual post-game fun, chat, reflection on the weekend in the rugby review.
All good?
We'll also be live in Hong Kong for the final day of the Sevens later tonight. Come with us to the brand new Kai Tak Sports Park from 2 in the morning on TNT 2 and Discovery Plus. And the Premier League back with us on Tuesday. We'll be live at the City Ground for Nottingham Forest, pushing for a place in the top 4. Europe next season with Manchester United the visitors. Then next Saturday from 11, Arsenal go to Goodison for one last time. Everton unbeaten in their last 11 games. How are Spurs doing, Sam? Kind of, as a Leicester City fan, I've lost interest in this season.
Yeah, let's just focus on this scrum now.
Okay. We've both lost interest in this season, have we? Ben, a Liverpool supporter, on the other hand, very much locked into what's going on.
And better than Wales, I noticed our director said as well. Fair point.
Still got a quarter of this match to go.
Can we just control the shot? Let's go again. Control. The contest after the ball, please. Crouch.
Might have noticed that Jake Heenan, under his black scrum cap, is part of this scrum now. He's on for Paddy Pearce. There he is. Found out this week that this season will be his last as a Bear, moving on after 7 years. Randall, Ravovo coming in field, trying to influence things. And that's beautifully away to Heenan, and here goes Thacker and Wade wrestling away. Harding. To a metre or so to his right. Mata. Looking away to our left for the first time in a long time. Woolmore. Into the final quarter. Dunn offered himself. He was merely a decoy. Luatua took it on. Beyond McGinty to Williams. Now McGinty, and that's beautifully done. And then Bates, but too many Gloucester defenders. For all their appetite in attack, Gloucester, there's enough appetite still defensively as well to stop the likes of Heenan. AJ McGinty calling for extra numbers inside. Dunn and Luatua provide it. Ashman went in trying to dislodge possession, but it is Laheath's and Bristol's to play with. Harris there. McGinty. Bates to the left, but it's Thacker to the right who's the option. Once more admire this Gloucester defensive effort. But it's picked up by Williams, and Williams wrestles his way through. And Gloucester have conceded a bonus point to Bristol. It's the Bears' fourth try.
And that'll hurt Gloucester a little bit with where the respective teams are on the table, but Bates does so well to stay in field, just goes down in time. That keeps the move alive, and Thomas Williams thinks he's got an opportunity to fly out the ball down. Ball bubbles slightly differently than he's expecting, and then he's out of the defensive line. Nothing Carreras can do. Williams, who's been good all game, with ball in hand and taking Bristol forward, gets his reward.
Thanks, Doctor.
That's good patience from Bristol. And you were right, Nick. Gloucester were defending so desperately, really well actually. Good double shots, good collision, committing men over the ball to slow it down, but Bristol were really patient.
We check every
they got their break
anyway,
and they took it.
And it's been cleared.
Very patient stuff from Bristol. I thought Gloucester did exceptionally well in that defensive set, even though they did concede the try.
Okay, time back on the kick, please.
Max Laheath has given way to Jimmy Halliwell. Turns 21 on Monday, the young tight head prop. I think Kieran Marmion is on as well for Harry Randall. Oh no, Randall's still out there, so maybe that's a plan change in a minute or two. Randall to McGinty. Luatua, a little juggle, but holds on.
Unlucky, thank you. It's your own player's leg, Harry.
Bristol have changed their wingers. Stephen Lango for Calavetti Ravovo. Christian Wade goes in. Dives under the radar. Ball lost forward by Bristol. Gloucester scrum.
Scrum down, red ball. Okay. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. If I got it wrong, I apologise.
It's just that bonus point for Bristol. Gives them a little bit more of a cushion on that
Better
table.
control on the last one. Yeah.
So Leicester and Saracens still to play.
Yeah, same on both teams for them.
Gloucester marching up the table as it is at the moment. It's going to get compressed, isn't it? Big win for Sale as well.
Bind.
Gloucester's remaining fixtures: home to Exeter and Northampton, away to Saracens, Quins at Twickenham and Newcastle, Bristol home to Leicester, Bath at the Principality and Cardiff and Quins, away to Northampton and Sale. Neither have the easiest of run-ins.
It's not too bad, is it?
Craig, I'll go across the other side.
I think they've got a good run in.
I don't know, to be honest.
They've got a away game, but the stuff here, a lot of teams below them, a long way below them, a lot of teams that will probably be out of the competition. Northampton last night, losing at Sale. If they continue playing like this and peak at the right time, you back them.
These are the only two teams in the Premiership at the moment who have never won it since League Rugby was first introduced in 1987, the good old Courage League, first year of. The cries of the scrum. Williams, Atkinson tried to get it away, but Bristol's 12, James Williams, was up quickly and forces the knock-on.
That might have actually come off Williams' hand in the tackle. The question that Atkinson's asking, he pulled the ball back on the pass, but I think it hits Williams' hand at swinging round. Gets away with that one. Bristol get the benefit of the doubt.
Hookers, can we make sure we're not pre-engaged?
So much to admire about James Williams' game last weekend, not just his 2 tries. It's the end of Fitzharding. He's replaced by Ben Grondona. Williams not long back from a broken hand after tackling Ted Hill. There's Grondona. No, Santi Grondona at the moment. He's serving the first of his 2-match ban for the head-to-head with Martin Maloney against Exeter last Saturday.
Set. Extend and collapse. The whole front row extend, collapse.
There's the mighty frame of Jimmy Halliwell, Gloucester's replacement, Bristol's replacement tight head, who's just come on. There he is, 21 on Monday. He's 6'4", 20 stones, plenty of time to grow. Bears debut when he was only 18 against Leicester.
Contest.
McGinty, Williams. Matt has done a fair amount of ball ferrying today. Randall. Bristol continuing to see what might be doing, and with Jack Bates on the ball, there's always plenty on offer. Randall's got there quickly. Thacker. This is done. Away to Luatua. Janssen van Rensburg helping to clear the ball, and then McGinty's clipped through. It's asking an awful lot of Jake Heenan, too much. Thinking as we watch games like this, the increased ball in play time, the speed of the game, it asks so much more fitness-wise of every single player. But you think of the scrum halves, the work that the likes of Thomas Williams, Harry Randall, I mean, they're just running marathons every game at the moment, aren't they? And at a reasonable pace.
Yeah, your 9s and wingers have got to be so fit these days. You know, back when I was coming through, I remember being told the 7 has to be the fittest player. Yeah, of course your 7's fit, but it's your 9s and wingers got to have that repeated speed to go up and down the pitch relentlessly. Got to be so fit, and they're fast tracks a lot of the time these days. A lot of 4G pitches, even the grass pitches are really well maintained.
Gloucester, use it.
I think some people get surprised when they don't see how... Some rugby players are big, of course, in your front 5. But some people are surprised that they think everyone's a giant, but you can't be. You've got to be fit, you've got to be powerful. You can't be too big, and carry that frame round for 80 minutes is hard work.
Yeah, the pace of this game hasn't relented, and it's been partly due to the work of players like Thomas Williams. And Marmion is now on for Randall.
Advantage knock on. First knock on by White.
straight into it. Thomas Williams flies out the line, tries to intercept his first pass, but he holds on and darts through Marmion.
Let's go, so we ready?
What position?
Time off.
Let's keep going. Here you go, lads. Step up. Go on, Lewis. Let's go.
Listen to him, lads.
He's one of those Connacht players who followed Pat Lam to Bristol.
Make sure you take your gap, lads, please. Not on head. Tommy, take crouch. Bind. Set.
Santi Carreras trying to get the shed lifted again. He knows that Buzz has gone out of the game a little bit. He wants more.
Caelan Englefield is on. Looks like Englefield has come on for Charlie Atkinson, the fly half. So Englefield,
knock on, good counter up.
Fly half now. It's gathered in by Cam Jordan. Oh, how well did Carreras do? Evading fast-running cars and big cars in Bill Matter. Janssen van Rensburg with the tackle, and now McGinty comes away with it, and this is Grondona. And this is Bristol looking for a fifth try.
Still under the foot.
Surely with just 10 minutes to go, it's as good as the bonus point situation's going to get, but you never know with these Bears. Bates, Marmion, Thacker. Kirill Gotopsev coming in with the hefty hit.
Not enough control off his feet.
Halliwell. Picked up smartly by Luatua. Halliwell.
Just hold that mark, please, Wayne.
McGinty held it up for as long as he could to engage Bernard Janssen van Rensburg. Woolmore. Williams. Caelan Englefield slowing things down for Gloucester, but back for the penalty.
I know Gloucester infringed, but Gloucester's defence, I think, has been so good. Chris Harris has been magnificent in defence today.
Control his footing into the
big shot there in that phase play defence. I know they did come off their feet, and it's a good call from Christopher Ridley, but they're double tackling at the minute. Targeting the ball in the tackle to stop Bristol from offloading has been excellent. Don Waldock, be proud of his men this afternoon.
Bristol that close. Luatua was short. Heenan looks interested. Goes in and picks up now. Drives his knees to the line. Christoph Ridley down low, says held up.
There's that commitment again, Nick, from Gloucester. They just seem to have that little bit more desperation near their try line. It was a really nice line-out set-up, actually, for Bristol.
It's a goal line drop-back.
They looked like they were going to go to the back. They threw trick play to the front. And nothing to suggest there.
He couldn't be better placed, could he?
No.
He's absolutely right with the decision, I think, as well. Frustration from Bristol.
Well, that's Harry Taylor, re-engaged with the Premiership last weekend. And taking the place of Rowan Ackerman. Still not entirely clear if Ackerman will be here next season. Arrived with his dad a while or so ago now, but some talk that he might be on his way. Gloucester bringing in another South African number 8, James Fenter, from the Sharks next season. Marmion, meantime, for Bristol, and Matter, who continues to run hard. McGinty, Thacker. Was lost in the tackle.
Christian Wade running in off his wing, just patting all the forwards on the back.
Number 12 being changed, lads. Number 12.
You know, in a game like this, people forget about the defence, but that has been the difference between the two sides.
Ready when you are.
Just a little bit more hunger from Gloucester every time Bristol have had the ball.
Well, I can't imagine that Seb Atkinson could have offered much more to this game. He's still only 22, and he heads off with a hat-trick and the applause of Kingshead.
Deservedly so, great game, both sides of the ball. He's been excellent. Been really busy there, 17 carries, 110 metres, that's phenomenal. 3 tries and 4 clean breaks. Take that all day long.
It's outside.
He's replaced by Will Butler, who is into the Premiership for the first time for Gloucester. Joined in December, had a spell with Leicester a while or so ago. He's quick. He will not noticeably slow things down. Luatua's line-out take. Heenan's pass, and then Williams, McGinty. This is now Lango. And Rensburg. And Rich Lane. Well, after all the free-running rugby, after all the fun and games and all the tries, the game in recent times has been dominated by defences. Attack momentarily, just caught in glue. Might not be for long, but we've not got long left. A little over 5 minutes. Harris. Looking for holes. Carreras, if there are any, will find them. Bounce for Barton. Just stopped him a little bit, but Barton makes something out of nothing. Williams that close. So too Seb Blake. Cam Jordan goes in, whipped away.
Time off. We're going to check if there's a knock-on, are we?
Well, the new man, Will Butler, thinks he's scored.
Just check there's no knock-on, please, before the grounding.
Andrew Jackson, the TMO, will confirm one way or the other.
Flashes across the face, doesn't it? Oh, does he keep that right finger on long enough, or has he lost control?
It's Matter's right arm that comes in.
Doesn't leave the palm, but I'm not sure he presses it.
It's just whether his last 2 fingers stay on the ball. I presume the on-field decision was a try, but...
Knock on, goal line drop back.
Shame for him. Brilliant kick again from Carreras to Barton on that wing.
What's it called, sir? This is goal line drop out. Now, all I can hear now is you appealing. Yeah, honestly, all I keep hearing is offside, 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 over and over again. I promise you. That's all. We have the ball. Yes. What? Oh, really? Yeah. I think so.
Freddie Thomas. Wade. Held on to determinedly by Jake Woolmore. Clements takes the tackle of Heenan as he got the ball away. Jordan. Kevin Englefield. And then Butler and Wade, and the speed that Lane was up on him didn't make life easy. Forced the knock-on.
Knock-on offside or just knock?
So, player of the match.
Well, it's a funny old game when you score a hat-trick and you don't get player of the match. He's brilliant, Wade. There have been so many that's been so good. Thomas Williams, everything that he's created and the speed that he's put on the game. I thought for a majority of this game I was going to give it to Carreras because he's been outstanding with what he's created. But I think the standout player for Gloucester today has been Seb Atkinson. As we mentioned before, 17 carries, 110 metres, 3 tries, 14 tackles. That is an unbelievable performance, and he is very rightly our Gallagher Premiership Player of the Match.
Well, face in the crowd, but a very special face, and a bashful face. Look at him, bless him.
Clearly loading, lads. Clearly softened.
Chat with Seb later. Williams, meantime, and Marmion and McGinty and Bristol still full of running and hope, but not for much longer. Lost by now Lango. It wasn't the easiest of passes to gather.
Leave it now, off feet.
Final 2 minutes.
Advantage over.
Carreras, and Harris has lost it, and
no advantage coming.
Flops on.
First knock on here. Where's my mark for that? You see it?
A great shot from Chris Harris again then. I know it's a game amongst 9 Gloucester tries, but the defensive effort has been absolutely brilliant. Whether it's him and Atkinson, here he is, just fly in.
The mark is in Bristol's heart.
It's great commitment from the Gloucester defence. Just really stop them from getting into their flow and attack. Great defence, Gloucester.
Cheers, Jacko, love it. Yeah.
That battle between Harris and Janssen van Rensburg in that 13 channel has not disappointed today. Two of the Premiership's most adept 13s in the same carriageway. Remember that 4 years ago Chris Harris was starting the second Lions test in Cape Town. Such has been the quality of Scotland's midfield since then that he's not winning international caps, but we've seen his quality once more today, and likewise Clement. Englefield, Carreras. Oh my goodness, over the top to release Ludlow, and now Barton goes again.
Hands on floor first.
We can nitpick about the defending for as long as we want to, but it takes nothing away from the quality of the attacking we've seen from both sides, but particularly Gloucester. That was asking a little bit too much in the end of Will Butler.
Thank you.
It's been 8 years since Gloucester last did the double in a season against Bristol, 2016-17. They did it by a solitary late George Barton kick at Ashton Gate at the start of the season. They're doing it a little bit more comfortably today.
Crouch!
By a full 25 points. Another supernatural Saturday.
Too much weight, lads.
Marmion, McGinty, Williams. Luatua.
Not now, gone.
Now Lango.
No.
Time's up. This is extra bonus moments that we're getting from these two at the end of the game. Bristol will content themselves with the try-scoring bonus point. Gloucester will feast on the full 5. Underline their efforts to make the playoffs at the end of the season. It's been a good day for Bath as well. They've stretched their lead at the top of the table. Their win earlier today at the Rec, coupled with the Bears' defeat here today. That's brilliantly off the floor from Halliwell. Marmion onto it. Just the intent still at this stage in the game to play the rugby we're seeing, Sam.
From both sides, it's great from both sides. Bristol still haven't thrown in the towel. Gloucester doing equally the same in defence. It's great to see both teams still going for it. In the 82nd minute, great energy from both teams.
Thacker. That's brought down by Jordan. Dunn. Van Rensburg. Williams. McGinty. Butler chasing hard defensively, chasing the ball across the pitch, which is now in the arms of now Lango, and Carreras showing he's pretty handy with his shoulders as well.
He has had a phenomenal game.
Woolmore on the bounce to Bernard Janssen van Rensburg.
Tackle, let go.
Halliwell. Oh, Thomas Williams' face expression tells you how close he was. Lane off the floor.
Just a knock on.
Another Saturday tea time in the Premiership, full of jam and cream. Double helpings of jam and cream. 13 tries, Gloucester 9 of them, Bristol 4 of them. Hat-tricks for Seb Atkinson, for Christian Wade. And just like last Saturday evening in Bristol, here in Gloucester, one that'll live a long time in the memory. Full time at Kingsholm, Gloucester 53, Bristol 28.